Tonight on Hip on the Spot News, we continue our coverage of the F4 Phantom's progress. We see what is ready and what to expect in the future. The Phantom's performance is thirsty for power, and we keep you as always informed by the hour. This and more on How I Play. This video is sponsored by F4E Managed Solutions. Hello virtual pilots, I'm Andre Celesti, and tonight we are going to talk about the latest news in DCS world. And we are back from a very intense weekend, prepared and ready to deliver the ongoing news with all the happenings in DCS world. We had the script prepared for last week, and we will deliver the general stuff later, because for now, we have to focus on the main course, the continuation of our coverage with the F4 Phantom news. So if you missed it, last weekend we dived in on the news report provided by Heatblur on their website and YouTube channel. The F4E Phantom II encountered some hurdles in its way to that early access release period, keeping in mind that no date was set in time, just a period of release. And with valid reasons, Heatblur was required to extend it and provided an ample description on why is that. To keep our content short, I advise you watch our previous video as we explain, as simple as possible, what happened. Today, we focus on what is being done by the team and what to expect next. All the information we provide is coming from official channels. So after the announced delay, the team explains that they do take their promises seriously. And while they may have tried to share an estimate for development time before, the pre-order window is considered to be an explicit promise rather than an estimate. This comes from Heatblur themselves, it's their words. With that being said, for the users who worry about their pre-orders, they will continue to honor the no question asked policy, regardless of where you purchase the F4 pre-order. And even more than that, if you decide to take a refund for your purchase, they will even extend the pre-order discount to you for 2 weeks past release day as a thank you for your support should you find initial reviews favorable and wish to repurchase the module. I see what they did there, 2 weeks. Nice! They take note of the situation, the massive game-breaking issue that sneaked in and only appeared late when they perform a mass testing, and learn from it as a valuable lesson and the risk that can appear when dealing with things like this. On a personal note, I do applaud them for their transparency. Moving on, they provided a development update for the F4 filled with information that you may find very interesting. In general, the entirety of the F4, including all the weapons, art, sound and system features, are done and in final polishing phases. Some things are still being worked on, primarily due to the UI-based delay, things that require a final layer of polish before they consider them in a releasable state. One of them is the multi-crew synchronization. As we know, not an easy system to deal with, especially when you simulate devices and avionics at a very high rate and levels of complexity. It seems that in the F4E, they synchronize far more data than before in any different way. Currently, they are working on eliminating cases where the initial handshake synchronization fails on spawn, requiring several reslots before the aircraft is properly usable in multiplayer. But don't worry, as they are working double time to really try to eliminate all remaining sync issues before launch, as the two-seat experience is integrated to the F4. Nice! Moving on, the flight model tuning is, as they say, a never-ending journey. It happens before and will happen even after the launch, nothing new here. Some of the elements requiring tuning are the ground effect, Mach tuck, tailplane authority in the transonic range, as well as improving turn performance as the aircraft is currently underperforming. They go on and mention that the flight model is one of those things that will never be perfect on launch and will always require continuous work through early access. Then they got the missions and content, which comes with no surprise that is still being worked on. They need to finalize the training missions and single-player content. I'm happy to hear that the F4 will have a rich suite of training missions, and of course with some of them coming post-launch. Final work is currently ongoing to wrap this up and test them properly. We recently published our PIMAX Crystal review for those of you who wonder if this headset is worth the price, especially if you are flying in DCS world and want a crystal clear immersive experience. And as you already know, for those of you interested in buying a crystal headset and want to help our channel in the process, make sure to use our referral link together with the available codes. We still got a special promotion for a few more orders, a bigger discount with our HIP99 code. Links are in the video description. Heatblur mentions that the F4 is art complete, signifying that the art and sound production required for the early access launch of the module is completed. This comprises the core art production like cockpits, exteriors, associated animations, to all the required gameplay elements such as damage modeling, LODs, pilot ejection animations, note how Jester is not mentioned here, damage parts, and so on. They created a vast number of liveries for the Phantom, trying to cover every operator of the F4E Phantom with at least one livery, and for some with more. Another important factor to know is that the F4 systems are also complete for launch, including their new next-gen RWR simulation and audio system, as well as all the backing core functionality with electrics, hydraulics, pneumatics, fuel, and other associated elements. And then they mention one of those touchy subjects we already discussed in the previous video: the performance and optimization required for the module due to its sheer amount of moving parts. As they say, when you got more detailed models, customization, more accurate simulation, gesture, and new UI elements, things don't come for free when it comes to performance. And they acknowledge that there is no fun with poor performance. So the F4E has an increased CPU usage, memory, latency, and catch misses. However, they are doing their best to minimize this as much as possible. They have working versions of an entirely multi-threaded F4, which significantly boosts performance by spreading the simulation of all these components across CPU cores. Currently, in an extremely CPU-heavy scenario, the F4E does perform worse than other modules like the Strike Eagle or the Apache, but not by a massive margin. It's not an easy job, and I don't envy them. Their goal is to match current modules in the CS world in regards of performance and also go further than ever before with what is possible in the sim. They report that things are getting closer to their performance targets, and they are working hard to ensure that on release day, the F4E performs just as well as any other complex two-seater module in DCS. Now in our next video, we will talk about the future of the F4E Phantom, new features, and current updates to the ongoing development. For those of you who watch until the end of this video, thank you all for sticking with us for all the latest news from your favorite simulators and games. There is a lot of news we got for you this week, new sponsors, and amazing info from other platforms as well. Many thanks to our patrons that support our channel. Remember to check our sponsors VR Rock for your VR blue light protection and prescription lenses, Fox3 Managed Solutions for the best DCS servers out there, Moza Racing with their amazing technology, and PIMAX for the most quality VR headset that the market can offer. And subscribe to keep in touch with all the latest news on your favorite simulators and games. I am Andre Celesti, reminding you to fly safe, and I'll see you next time.